Well, it's time now for Media Watch, and for that we're joined in the studio by Charlie James. Good to see you, Charlie. And we're going to start with a story that we touched on earlier. These are protests in Hungary. It looks like they will be continuing for a fifth straight night. People turning out in the centre of Budapest tonight. Now, earlier in the day, the national state broadcaster was the focal point for protesters, wasn't it?
That's right. So much of the action at the television network MTVA is playing out on social media. That's because it's the opposition party that has been trying to get its list of demands put out over the airwaves, and they haven't been able to do it that way, so they are turning to Facebook, Twitter, and other social networks.
Because they were in the studio, they tried to read out their list of demands, and they were forcibly removed, right?
So they were in the station. Well, let me start
at
the beginning here. So actually, as we speak, a rally is being held outside of the television station. This is a live stream on Facebook from the opposition magazine 168 Ora, showing all of these people out here right this minute. They say that the station here, which is the main station in Hungary, has become not much more than a mouthpiece for the government. They say that the protests are being completely ignored on it, and that they're just talking about Christmas preparations. So much of the country doesn't even know that this is happening.
Thousands
so they're
of people
turning
on
to
the streets.
social media.
Right.
So, but let's back up and talk about what happened overnight, because that's when the action really started at this TV station. So a group of MPs actually spent the night in the makeup room. This is a picture tweeted out by one of them, István Wewi, who they spent the night there trying to get their list of demands broadcast. Here is the list of demands. In fact, it includes withdrawing that law, what they're calling the slave law, which allows companies to
400 hours
force
of
more overtime on employees, less time for the police, and you see there at the end, independent public media. And so they were there, and everything seemed okay at first, and then they started to try to get past the guards, and that's when things started getting a little more iffy. So one MP used her Facebook account. Her name's Bernadette Sell, and she used her Facebook account to live stream her and a colleague being kicked out by security there. And then another...
Bit of an own goal then by the state TV broadcaster.
Sorry?
Bit of an own goal there.
Yeah.
They seem to have made things worse.
So, and I mean, there's so many videos like this. Here's another of another politician. He's live streaming himself on the ground. So he's holding it while he's on the ground, and the guards are standing around him trying to get him to leave. It's a really interesting angle that you're seeing there. So these videos have been making their way all around social media today. And really kind of gaining momentum for this group that's now outside of the...
Because these are elected lawmakers. These are not just protesters.
Right,
these
right.
Are
These are opposition. These are opposition lawmakers. And so it's not just the outside the TV station that has become a focal point either. It's also at the bigger protests themselves. In this clip, you can hear, this is from last night, I believe. Yes, last night. You can hear the group chanting, "The TV is lying, the TV is lying." And then in this next one here, a banner that says, "Propaganda machine is not media." So definitely one of the things, in addition to this overtime law that they're mad about, is what they say is the degradation of the free media there under Viktor Orban. And in fact, you know, there is truth behind this. If you look at Reporters Without Borders and their ranking of how free the press is in each country, before Orban took power 8 years ago, Hungary was ranked 23rd. Since then, it has dropped 50 places to 73rd, according to Reuters.
And an EU member state, of course. Let's not forget, they are having their tussles with Brussels, though, it has to be said. All right, let's talk about something else, because Dictionaries, people that still have them, they are releasing their words of the year.
Well, people using them online.
Yeah,
so I don't think that many people are still buying the books, but lots of people still using them online. So I want to start first with Merriam-Webster, which released its word today, and its word of 2018 is justice.
Oh, it's not new words.
No, these are the words that they say are like kind of indicative of the whole year.
So Merriam-Webster, sum up 2018. Okay.
Right. Merriam-Webster picked justice. They said they made the pick after seeing a 74% spike in the number of lookups compared to 2017, because now that we're using it online, they can tell what we're searching as well.
Wow.
And it explained this jump by saying there were a number of really big stories this year that involved the word justice, whether it was the Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh and his confirmation hearing, or the Justice Department in the United States investigating President Donald Trump, and the fight for social, racial, and gender justice across the world. Oxford Dictionary went with the word toxic. And they said that they...
Toxic Brexit debates?
Toxic.
Any chance?
And they said that was indicative of a number of big topics of the year, but also that it was being put together with other words more outside of just its original poison meaning with chemicals. So toxic masculinity, toxic relationships.
Right now, isn't it?
Right. And finally, I want to show you my maybe favorite one. Cambridge did a word of the year, People's Word of the Year, where they did a poll of their users, and the word was nomophobia. Now,
what does that mean?
Phobia. Now, this is a compound word, no mobile phone phobia. So it's the fear of not having your phone.
Oh, I can understand that
so
one.
it's a compound word there. And so they said that...
Nomophobia.
Nomophobia. So while it's not a scientific word, it has been in use since 2008. It was actually U.S. government researchers who coined it. And this was the word that their users said most represents
nomophobic. All right. Good stuff, Charlie. Thank you very much indeed, Charlie James there.